Yeah, hi. So here I am, sat in my car, beautiful summer day. Well, I would say a British summer day. So for those of you who aren't in Britain, I'll tell you what, if you're somewhere nicer than here, I hope you're enjoying the good weather. Anyway, hi, my name's Mark. Thank you for coming and visiting my site. One of the reasons I've got involved in this business, and one of the reasons, something I want to share with you all really, is just the current market, where we are today. Because I'm a high-speed data network engineer, but there's a lot of professional people out there right now that are, their industries are coming to the end of its life cycle. I know the career for life, job for life is a fantasy now, and it just doesn't exist. I know the average job length is somewhere around about 6 years, 20 months, and the average career length is around about 6 years. So, people are retraining, and you see it every day on the news, particularly on the adverts on television, telling people to retrain, skills train, and skills this and skills that, all these different, and they'll be happy. They'll be happy to take £7, £8, £10,000 off you in order to generate more income for them while you're retraining for yet another career. And I sometimes wonder, and like I did, have you ever wondered, there's got to be something more to life, because working for somebody else at the end of the day will pay you enough money to get into debt, but it just won't pay you enough to get out of it. That's where I found myself after 14 years working in the forces, and I was looking, and I think everybody comes to a point where they're looking. I still feel lucky enough that I've found something, that I'm involved in something that's given me, it's given me more energy, because I'm excited about what it is I do. When you have energy and expectation, it certainly gets you up in the morning, it keeps you up at night, and it allows you to learn new skills because you want to, and you feel like you genuinely are moving on, and accumulating skills, and accumulating more value. And that's what I really want to talk about, just adding value to yourselves. I heard a Jim Rohn quote years ago about always working harder on yourself than you do on your job, and that's something that I never really thought about up until I became aware that was something that I needed to take have at the forefront of my mind. So, working harder on yourself than on your job. So if you're in a job if I found myself in a job, certainly, where I was repeating the same experiences day in, day out, week in, year out, and if somebody had asked me if I had 10 years experience in a particular job, I would have said yes. But now I've sort of become a little bit more enlightened, and I've realised that if you repeat the same processes and the same practices on a daily basis, week in, week out, are you really gathering days, weeks, months, years of experience? Or are you just repeating the same day, week, months, years, year after year? Because if you're repeating the same day in, day out, you're not really making yourself more valuable. All you're doing is just repeating the same thing day in, day out. You're in a rut, and it was pointed out to me that the only difference between a rut and a grave is that in a rut, the ends of the grave have been kicked in, and that's or kicked out, and I found myself stuck in a rut. And so once I become, I started looking, I started researching, and that's where it all started for me. And I hope to pass on, some of these skills, some of these techniques, some of this just being part of an association and associating with people and knowledge that can change the way I've thought has dramatically changed me as a person. It's changed the success that I'm enjoying, and it's also allowed me to pass on these skills and pass on this knowledge with people that I know. And and with the advent of the modern age, the technology that we have now, it's allowed me to pass it on via this video, and I hope to pass on a lot more. There is a great opportunity here. I want people to take a look at my website, click on whoismarktaylor.com, and also take a look at the website. Take a look at more information. You know, do your research, and just remember that opportunity, you know, when it does come knocking, sometimes it knocks softly. You have to be listening. You know, you have to be listening in order to hear it. So I hope you're listening. Take a look at the website below, click on the link, and satisfy yourself. And remember, I don't want you to be one of these people that trip over opportunity, pick themselves up, dust yourself off, and just carry on, like nothing's happened. So you're here now. Take advantage of this opportunity. I hope you've listened, and I hope you've heard something that might give you enough curiosity to take a look at what we're offering and what's available out there, you know, and I hope to speak to you in the future. I'm a real person. My details are there. You can click on my link or my phone number and give me a call, and I'll be more than happy to field your call, and I wish you luck. Bye bye.